Hello Internet, and welcome to my review for Sword Art Online Alicization episode 23, which, this episode. Last time, when we last left our heroes, things weren't going so hot. Charlotte died, Cardinal showed up, there's a sword golem now, who we learn a lot about in this week, and yeah, things weren't a good time. They were for the viewer, but they weren't for the heroes. And so that's really all I have for last week's video. Before we go into this video is going to be a mess, by the way. Getting that out of the way, I'm a mess after this episode. Before we get to talk about this episode itself, just a reminder, I have my Spring 2019 anime review straw poll in the description down below. Fill that out, and then come back here. So, on to the light and breezy stuff from this episode, which goes by really fucking fast. I love the way Quinella and Cardinal both know how to get under each other's skins. They feel like sisters. They genuinely feel like siblings in that scene, and it's wonderful. They're just also trying to kill each other. So that's about it for the light and breezy stuff. Now, things get dark and depressing fast. So, the weapons that make up the sword golem used to be human. They were like Eugeo by episode's end, getting a little ahead of ourselves. Quinella turned them into swords and got rid of their memories. And Quinella plans to do that to half the human population, in order to make them to fight off against the forces of darkness. The other half, I'm assuming she's going to make into Integrity Knights, or at least brainwash them the same way she does with the Integrity Knights. I literally just had this thought right now, so it's going to be really rambly and kind of unfocused. But we find out, I think, it's really confusing and layered in so many levels of technobabble, I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, that the Sword Golem is animated by the desire of the Integrity Knights' original selves to hold the person closest to them, and the feeling they are being stopped by their opponents. Which is horrifying, first of all. First of all, that's horrifying. Second of all, if Quinella is planning on turning half of humanity into this, she needs more memories. Which means I think her plan is to turn the other half of humanity into puppet Integrity Knights. So that's horrifying. Yeah, she says that, half the humanity will survive, but will they? They'll just be fucking Integrity Knights. The important thing to note, though, is that the Sword Golem works the continuation of the types of love theme Quinella's had going ever since the Eugeo seduction scene, and that the Sword Golem is human. So the Underworldians can't do anything about it. By the way, Underworldian is the technical term for them in the books, which is weird, and I hate it, but it's what we're going with. So yeah. So, I was going with, on the types of love theme, Quinella, mocks the idea of love and affection here. It's just, desire and the power, and, the emissions of the Fluctlight, and that'll end up being kind of what Eugeo's ultimate sacrifice represents, that we'll talk about later in the episode. Because there is really, I joked a little bit at the minute mark of this video or so about how there was really only the one light and breezy thing, but that's correct. There's only one happy thing to talk about in the entire episode. So yeah, Cardinal offers up her life to spare the Rulid trio, convincing Quinella that if Cardinal fought her, Cardinal would still lose, but she'd diminish Quinella's memory capacity a good bit. What's most shocking here, though, is that there is no daring rescue. This is the moment where, Kirito, it's always Kirito, would swoop in dramatically at the last second and save Cardinal before she can die. That doesn't happen. Kirito tries, and Quinella's like, no. Or not Quinella, Cardinal's like, no. Cardinal's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm dying for y'all. And she dies. She actually dies. Not before letting Eugeo have his own heroic sacrifice. Because he has Cardinal turn him into a sword. That happened. It's fucking weird. Like, I am really sad over Eugeo's death. I'm heartbroken over Eugeo's death. Eugeo is probably my favorite SAO character, besides Klein. Klein is my darling. Klein is my husband. But Eugeo, man. But also, as much as I love Eugeo, this is just fucking weird. He's a sword. Why is he a sword? So, I don't fully understand why he needed to be a sword. There's all this talk in the books that I don't think is really in the anime about Eugeo needing to, become one with his sword, and that's how he'll get power. All the talk about, the sword's memories and all that. And this is kind of the ultimate form of that lesson, I guess. But, my guess is that he became a sword because he had to bond with Alice's memory crystal for, the ultimate, released recollection, or I think is what it's called, right? I think it was because he needed to be in the sword form so he could fuse with Alice's memory crystal. I think. But yeah, he's a sword. He was a sword. He's not a sword by episode's end. He's a corpse by episode's end. The next part of the episode I could only watch in awe. I could not have any notes there. So Eugeo uses Alice's crystal for his released recollection, which gives him the strength to just shatter the sword golem instantly. There's that theme of, love as control and love as, a relationship, writ large right there. There's the winner of that debate. Then he clashes with Quinella, and he's strong enough to chop off her arm. But then he gets bisected in the process. Youch. I mean, that's belittling it a little bit, but I don't know how to deal with feelings besides belittling them, so here we are. That's where we're at. God, Eugeo. Fucking Eugeo. And the sword? Hold on. So the sword, I just remember now, the Blue Rose Sword freezes him. That wouldn't have saved him, would it? Because that might have stopped the blood flow. Well, he doesn't have a leg now, or any legs. I don't know. He can't, is he, I don't, please tell me he lives. Book readers, shut up. Shut up entirely. Please tell me Eugeo lives. Eugeo deserves to live, damn it. Eugeo deserves one thing and one thing alone, and that is a long, happy life. Okay? He does not deserve this. Killed by fucking Quinella. Ugh. Yeah, then there's some stuff, there's the whole, heroic saving thing going on twice with Kirito and Alice. Alice does it to Kirito, and then Kirito does it again to Alice. And then there's our favorite anime phrase, that person makes its appearance again. But in this instance, it does prove that Quinella is in contact with someone from the other side, which is interesting. It'll probably play into next week's finale. It is the season finale next week for at least 3 months, maybe 6. Maybe we'll come back in October, I don't know. But now all that's left is the final battle with Quinella. And wow. Just wow. This episode was just ridiculous. It was ridiculously intense and everything, and I'm heartbroken and all that. But also, as awful as it is to laugh, Eugeo turned himself into a fucking sword. That was his plan. And it didn't work, goddammit! It destroyed the sword golem, and it chopped off Quinella's arm. Damn it, my boy, you're a genius. You're a suicidal genius, and I love you. And you deserve better than this. And ugh, Eugeo. I will say it's a testament to the anime that they sold one of the most bizarre things to ever happen in this franchise with the power that it had. Like, it worked, damn it. It worked. It's weird in retrospect, but in the moment, I never thought it was weird. I was like, yeah, Eugeo's a sword now. That's a thing, and I believe it. Also, what a fucking body count this week. I think this is our biggest body count since Aincrad ended. We have Cardinal dies, Eugeo dies, Zuberg maybe dies? I'm not quite sure there, because the sword is shattered, and how much of the sword is Zuberg, and how much of it is just Eugeo? I don't know. Zuberg might have died there. I'm not sure. The show calls no attention to it. But anyway, yeah. Just don't make me distracting you from how sad this was make you think I'm not sad. I'm fucking devastated. God, Eugeo. But next time is the season finale, as it all ends. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the episode and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. Fill in my straw poll, it doesn't matter when Eugeo's dead. As always, people, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you in the future. Bye!